You're saying that the only reason
That's
Biggie's
it.
a legend is because he beefed with Pac?
He's not even a legend. He doesn't have his.
Chris,
Oh,
please,
crazy.
please.
He's not a legend.
Now he's
Can't say
bugging. I was
Biggie
trying
a
to let you.
Biggie's
Biggie's
not
not
a
a
legend.
legend?
No.
You are
Biggie not a legend?
insane. Come with it or don't come at all, you dig? Mm-hmm.
Your frequency is what you do frequently. You dig? So if you always showing up 95, 85, 98, 54, 42, 32, 14, 13.
Lotto numbers.
You know what I'm saying? If you
Niggas did
showing
lotto
up
numbers
lotto
on 'em.
numbers, I like that.
Uh-huh.
You showing up with the lotto numbers beating, you know what I'm saying? You gonna reciprocate that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what you gonna get. You gonna get the 14s and the 13s. You gonna get the lotto numbers.
Showing up lotto numbers. I actually, that's hard.
Yeah,
that's
that's
a good,
facts.
like, yeah.
That's facts.
We showing up lotto numbers on it.
Yeah, that's
like,
facts.
We need 100, 100, 100.
What you
That's
doing?
ain't no.
It's 2025.
Yeah.
It's 100%.
Big 2025. 100% only.
Period.
Is where we at with it.
The fuck?
You feel me?
You know what I'm saying?
How you, my guy?
Big Dust, what up, baby?
We in the building.
Solid.
Solid. Welcome back to another
Yeah.
episode of
Yeah.
Forever Open Radio.
Forever Open Radio.
Come on, man. It's the guys.
Hmm.
Dusty P,
The good guys.
Big SCSjr. You know Big Chris in the building.
Big Chris.
Big Chris in the front.
Big.
You did. Appreciate that.
Big Chris in the front on the 3 and 4s. He in the cockpit right now,
You did.
holding it down. It's a beautiful Saturday right now. Summer is feeling like summer is
It's
here.
feeling like summer.
It's feeling like summer is here. It got
feeling like
spooky.
summer.
It was a little frigid for a little
Yo,
minute.
it got real spooky.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now
Fires, we had
Yeah.
the rain, now we got the
Yeah.
sunshine.
we got the sunshine. Sunny LA, man. This is exactly what I moved here for. It's something about the sun in LA that's different than the sun anywhere else. Like 70 in LA versus 70 in like New York.
It's a little
Two,
different.
yeah,
It's a little
two
different.
very different things.
It's the coastline.
Mm.
It's the coastline.
Just interesting, man. I think like we've been talking about. I think right now there's just such this energy, in the LA right now and on the West Coast that is like dope to like be in and be in the midst of. I feel like even the music I hear and shit like that. That's what I noticed. Like being here, a lot of the music that I hear now that I live here like resonates with me so much differently that I like vibe with now. Like being around the people and in the culture and seeing like, okay, this is exactly like I get why the music sounds like this when you're here.
Straight up.
And so speaking of LA artists, the boy AzChike, that was on GNX, he was on Peekaboo.
Okay.
Coming down on Peekaboo. So he just got signed to Warner.
Whoa.
Big shout out to him. You know what I mean? So that's
Whoa.
that's
That's
fire.
a plug play.
Yup. He just dropped his first single. And on it, the boy actually dissed Joey Badass. I know we keep on talking about like Joey, you know, when he came at the West Coast and like did all that, but AZ, he dropped his first single. And on that single, he also went in at Joey Badass. Something along the lines of, he said something as like, you're not as unique as you think. I think like he didn't say his name, but he was like something about the East Coast shit. And it's like, you're not as unique as you think. And you know, he plays unique on Power on Raising Cane, and Joey is unique. So yeah, it said something about, you know, there, and he's like, and you gonna respect the Duckworth when like something, you know, Duckworth being Kendrick.
Wow.
So so I thought that was crazy, and it's interesting because all of these artists are coming out and popping off at Joey, right? Like the West Coast kind of like band together like on it. But how come nobody from the East Coast has like come back and like banded together with like Joey himself? That's the thing that interests me about the whole thing. I'm like, I was thinking like, where the other artists that, you see, he said this thing, and then all these different artists are like,
Who would be the artist to say something right now?
like
who would be standing with Joey Badass? Joey Badass, he's here on the West Coast. He got a new wife, he got a new baby on the way. Like,
Joey live out here?
I mean, shit, Valentine's, I was on the IG situation And you know, he was with Soraya, you know, by the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Like about to have a baby, like you know what I'm saying? Like so I'm just thinking like what J. Cole?
Like a Cole, we know. I mean, we know J.
Cole just dropped a new joint.
Clouds.
That's kind of fire. Yeah. That's a banger.
Yeah.
I mean, but at the end of the day, you know,
I guess like who is even like at that caliber?
A Fat Joe
or that like. Like you know,
on that
Joe like ASAP Rocky.
I mean, he just got out of that trial situation. Yeah. Innocent, baby.
Big up ASAP.
Yo,
we love when the guys get to be free,
baby.
Yeah.
Yo,
but yeah, I ain't think about that. I guess it's like who really is there even. It's like right, you got those cats, but then he's like not even really even in that world of like rapper.
Nah, like. You know,
it be one of these drill cats, man. All these Brooklyn like drill niggas,
5-0,
be drilling shit. Why don't you? There you go,
5-0. But nah, 5-0 wouldn't say anything. 5-0's looking at Joey Bada's girl. Yeah, you know, his fiance, his wife, Soraya.
Yeah. So who are the like the New York East Coast? Who's like the rap? You got a Joey, you got J. Cole, but then it's like. I ain't even think about that until asking this question.
Yeah,
like the rappers that are like from the city. I feel like the New York and the East Coast, it has just become so drill heavy. And I mean, of course, and you've got like the underground. You know what I mean? There's a huge underground scene in New Jersey and New York of plenty like extremely, extremely talented rappers. But when it comes to like at the forefront, I guess it's not really other than a J. Cole who decided he don't want to be a part of it. That's just kind of what it is.
I mean, like we were saying, you know, it's a special climate that we're in right now. It's a new wave, right? That's occurring, and this new wave, the first word is new, and new is a concept word. It's a word that you can't put a shape, symbol, or a character to it because it's new.
It's relative, and it's like relative to whatever it is you're talking about.
All right, so you gotta just let it happen, let it occur, and we got the marketplace is open. If you're in Hollywood, California, make sure you come to Open LA store. Come get you a fresh juice, fresh smoothie.
You see me tearing this one up.
Yeah, like my guy does say, get you a bev.
Get you a bev.
Come get you
New
a bev.
New York shit.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. So it's a special time that we're in, and it's new. So if you're a pioneer, if you're a creator, if you have a burning desire to create, do it. Don't matter how stupid it is, don't matter how dumb it is, just do it, okay? Because we're in a special time, and we're creating our tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, speaking of the creators and niggas just doing it, like you mentioned, J. Cole, he dropped that joint Clouds, which I think is like honestly just a masterclass in like, rap and flow. Like the way he's rhyming, the flow patterns, the just like all of this. I think it's like through all of this, J. Cole just like keeps on reminding us of like, no, like I do this. This is what I do. And it's interesting because I think like now with everything that's happened, it feels like his legacy is starting to come into question, right? Of, J. Cole is somebody who, up until the whole thing, right? We talk about the big three. This is somebody who was stamped. Even before that, right? He has the classics. We know this is somebody who can rap his ass off, but then jumps into this arena, jumps back out of the arena, and now people are starting to question like his legacy. Right? No, he's not big three. People are starting to say like he's not stamped, like what we've known him to be all this time. right? And so that like begs the question for me, like when it comes to legacy, right? Do you think there's a point where where legacy is solidified and you're good and you can't put a chink in the armor, save obviously if not including people who've done just like the heinous shit that like obviously fucks up your legacy. But for a situation like a J. Cole, right?
Okay.
Is him, being a rapper who talks about, I'm murdering rappers and murdering artists, which he even said like on Clouds, right? He had a line where he said that he murdered artists, turned them into martyrs. But then when the opportunity arises to like do it at the highest level, you be like, actually, nah, I don't want to do this. Like, does something like that ruin his legacy, or do we feel like his legacy like gets stamped? Like, what does it take to ruin a legacy, or is that something that you think is even real?
J. Cole. See, we got to understand Kendrick is a totally different God. Okay, let's just say all the rappers are gods, right? Kendrick is a totally different God. And the reason why Kendrick is a totally different God is because the gods before him came together and gave him the mic. You see what I'm saying? I don't know where the fuck J. Cole came from, right? In a sense of, all I know is he came out with that one song and he was compared to a Drake. But he had more spikes when it came to his delivery, where he had the melodies and he had the flow. That was like, nigga, flow is impeccable. You know what I'm saying? It's nice. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he's just a god. And, that's it, But at the end of the day, Kendrick, gods came together and gave him the mic.
Yeah. Like literally on stage.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's something there. And the way he performs as an artist is out of this world. It's out of this world. The way he is on camera, the way he is off camera, the way he is on the stage, the way he's on the mic, his whole situation is like he's an ultimate god, right? The boy, not taking anything from Jay, but two different caliber of gods.
So that being said, though, right? So if we separate the two, we say, all right, we know that we can't really compare a J. Cole to a Kendrick, like once you step out of just like the rapping ability and stuff like that. But do you think like him not being like battle tested the way that like he says he is, like does that take away from like when we're just like talking about the legacy and who it is and like what we're gonna remember this person from him, like
because we're talking
that takes
legacy.
Away from his legacy.
So it's a blockchain. Everything's accounted for. Everything's transparent. It is what it is. And that's what I'm saying. Like the boy Kendrick is a king. His legacy is it's a story.
Yeah.
You can see it. You saw it then, you see it now, and you will see it. He's fulfilling a prophecy. See, yeah, everyone has, what they're going to be known for, but legacy occur when you're doing something bigger and greater, that's beyond you, and you've been placed in the position. You didn't take it. You didn't do any weird shit. It's like your birthright almost.
Right.
Like you were designed and created, and everything about you was to live up to that one moment. You know what I'm saying? That's legacy. You know, it's purposeful.
Do you think everyone has one? Like, do you think everybody is like that? Is that like a responsibility of humans to like have? No,
everyone does not have it. It's not upon everyone's life because it's a lot of responsibility.
That's actually interesting. So in my mind,
Tupac has a legacy.
Right.
He's a legend.
I want to pull up the word, the definition too.
Really don't have.
Chit. I ain't gonna let you do that.
No.
I ain't gonna let you do that.
I'm just saying, but I'm not comparing tit for tat. But man, Tupac got a whole academic school of arts, and Tupac was an actor. He was in movies. He was in performing arts schools. He was a different caliber. He was like he came up with Digital Underground as a back, like he was in the back. He was placed like it's. I'm not saying who's better. You just look at what a person has done. It's not someone's opinion, right? I'm not saying woo 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 woo. I'm just saying Biggie is a great rapper. Again, I play him to, just like J. Cole. But there's no legacy there.
No, they're absolutely, like, I think, how are you defining legacy?
What did you come up with?
That's what the question. So legacy, so legacy, the long lasting is one of them. I think that's the most accurate. The long lasting impact of particular events, actions, etc. that took place in the past or of a person's life. The long-lasting impact of particular events and actions,
right,
that took place in the past or of a person's life.
So that's what tradition lives from, is from legacy. That's why people create stories. That's why the art of storytelling is so important, is because of just that. It's something that is resilient. It's something that lasts a lifetime. And it's art forms, it's action, it's not opinionated. It stands up by itself, right? Like the fabric of life stands up by itself. The legacy of life, right? Legacy is such a profound and huge amberous type of a word, where you really gotta like subject out of self and become selfless to even understand a word like legacy, because it's used very loosely, just like the word love, right? These amberous types of words are used very loosely to cheapen the experience, right? So again, when we talk about legacy, it's not so much what you're doing for a career. It's what are you doing when you don't have the mic? What's occurring with your lifestyle?
And I think that's so. Yes, I think that's an aspect of it, right? But when we're talking about like in the music world and with these musicians, when we're looking at rappers, I think legacy in that sense of like the art form, it's like the art and like the impact of the art, right? Is what I'm looking at. When we look at a Tupac, generational rapper who's like made this music that's touched people, that's resonated with people, right?
But what else has Tupac done? He's made music, he's made movies, he's made books, he's made curriculums, he's made programs, he's made culture. I I mean, I'm not here to talk about another man's accolade, but at the end of the day, it's not just music. And if we talk to someone about J. Cole, what is he doing? He just music. What? I mean, what else? Tell me.
That or shit. I could.
What else?
Honestly,
has he done?
when it comes for J. Cole.
I mean, what?
But I mean, but I think.
And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, and there's no obligation to that. But at the end of the day, he's a great rapper. You know?
Yeah.
And I understand what you're saying as in the paradigm of rapping, I don't even think he's gonna be a legend.
Cause my thing,
if you was to ask like our younger brothers and shit, you know J. Cole, they probably wouldn't even know J. Cole.
Nah, I think they do. I think we could give him a little more credit than that.
It's not me giving them credit. I just don't hear anyone bumping J. Cole. Like you mentioned J. Cole, I haven't heard J. Cole name since the rap beef.
I think so here's what I think. I think that there are different attributes that you can equate to like what someone's legacy is gonna be, right? So like you said, we're saying Tupac and like all these different things that he's done, like versus a Biggie, right? But what I will say is even if Biggie didn't do the curriculums or have the acting career and things like that, right? There's a reason like he's still mentioned in that conversation. Because
he got shot the same time period Tupac got shot.
He made music that impacted the
Tupac
culture.
Said, "I fuck your bitch" in the beginning of the track.
But okay, all right. So yeah, he said that. But I'm saying
he's a foe of a legend.
But legends have plenty. There's a reason. Drake.
That's it.
You're saying that the only reason Biggie's a legend is because he beefed with Pac?
He's not even a legend. He doesn't have his...
Chris, please.
He's not a legend.
Now he's bugging. I'm trying to let you... Biggie's not a legend?
No.
You are insane.
Bro, how is he a legend?
How is he a legend? Because he is one of the most well-known, impactful, most beloved...
Because of why?
Because he was a great rapper who made great music that people of the city felt and resonated with, to the point that he still talked about in the same conversation of Tupac, who you're saying has done all these other things. And he didn't have to do all of that for us to still say like Biggie was Biggie. Like he's influenced as all of the rappers, your Jay-Z's,
what is
your
his
A$AP
legacy?
Rockies, all of the artists under him who
he's
influenced.
What is the man's legacy?
The man's legacy is his music, which is classic that people love. His legacy is all of the New York artists, including your Jay-Z's, all these other people who have come like under him.
No one else's names. Just
but that's part of it.
He's even on track saying homosexual things.
He said it was a Richard.
That was a
Richard Pryor. He said that to reference a joke that Richard Pryor made. Like that, it didn't come out of it. Said Richard Pryor.
But that's his legacy.
Like
if we're talking legacy, but that's not some legacy shit.
But like even if he did, all right. So
even if he did, it's facts,
bro. But I'm saying him.
I mean, we can't be biased. That's what I'm saying. When we talking about legacy, it's like it's a certain level, dog. And
which Biggie is
at. Shit. No, he's
which
not.
Biggie is at.
He's not there.
That is insane.
Biggie is not there, dog.
Isn't that crazy to say Biggie's not a legend?
That's insane.
He's not there, bro. It was a legendary situation and a legendary time because he was a foe of a legend.
Bro, I could make the same argument for Pac.
You can't.
I can say that's
but you cannot say
because he was a foe.
I mean, but look, we're saying facts. You can say I can say the same thing about Pac, but you cannot because Pac has a list of accolades. He has schools. He has his mother was a Black Panther. He was with Digital Underground. He was in art school. He was with Jada Pickett. He was a fucking legend.
Faith
dog.
Evans was a baddie.
He was 24.
Faith Evans was also a baddie.
I'm saying he fucked Faith. It was just like he was that's some legendary shit. And the only reason why Biggie is mentioned is because of
That is not true.
Because he didn't. Not to say that he's not a great rapper.
He is a legend.
But is he a legend? No.
1000%.
No.
He is a legend because
I think one of our last legends. See, we gotta separate these words, and we gotta understand what's going on, because this is the fluff that has been created, right? Malcolm X is a legend. You know what I'm saying?
You can be legends in different rights for different things. Everybody doesn't have to be a Malcolm X to be a legend. You can be fucking Gordon Ramsay's gonna, when he dies, he'll be a legend because like he cooked good, but he didn't have to.
See, now we're talking about interpretation of the word. I'm not saying like you have to be a freedom fighter. What I'm saying is they make, like, people make legends. Like Jesus is a legend. You know, that's okay. Jesus.
And people look at Biggie like Jesus is big. Biggie is Jesus to a lot of
Biggie.
I don't know if it's because maybe it's because you haven't been, and like if you, I don't know if it's not like living in New York.
I understand,
or like understanding
neighborhoods.
But like
I understand to like
we're talking a whole coast.
Understand
I'm talking
a God
impact. I'm talking.
But now it's, when you start speaking about legend, you gotta go beyond that. You gotta go beyond the material.
I don't think so.
You gotta go beyond that, and I mean, it says it in the definition. It's for everlasting impact, right? At the end of the day, I'm not gonna play Biggie to my son. Like, for my son, like, yeah, I put it on Juicy, but at the end of the day, on some like mindset, like you're not playing Biggie.
And that's okay, but I don't think that's a requirement for like to say someone has a legacy or to say someone is a legend. Like, you don't have to, that's like saying like because someone's interests or like focuses in life is different, then they're like barred out of being a legend. You know what I mean?
If you lived a certain lifestyle, yes. Because it's a role model. To be a legend, you gotta be a model. You gotta be
legend and role model are two different things.
No, it's not.
Legend and a role model are two different things.
That's what a legend is responsibility. It's no other, it's ultimate responsibility. Like, kings are legends. You know what I'm saying?
For notoriety, and there are horrible kings that are legends. Like, a legend doesn't mean that you were a good person or a great person.
Now we talk
a legend.
Now we're talking about wrong versus right, and that's all perspective. We're talking impact. We're more so speaking about just like minus all the fluff. Legend is Jesus. It's your role model. You're responsible. The ability to respond.
You're a role. That's where I disagree. I don't think
ultimate. It's the ultimate.
I think legend.
You're a legend. Somebody call you a legend is because you just did something just spectacular. Instead of doing a windmill, you did a windmill and did a backflip and did some Chuck Norris shit and jumped through that, and you fucking went through the hole. That nigga's a legend.
People are legends because they're regarded they're in extremely high regard generationally, because they're extremely talented, because they've had impact, right? I think those are, when we're talking about someone being a legend, anyone that you call a legend is because it's been agreed amongst everybody that they are amazing at what they do. It's been agreed, even when we talk like generations after that, right? Even in the future, they're saying we can look at this person and we know, this person, when we think about this thing, this one is going to be one of the main people that comes to mind because they were the epitome of that. And you think of like the impact, what this person did impacted the culture, the place around them, and then the cultures to come, right? So when we talk about being a legend, that's why when we look at a Tupac, we look at a Biggie. If anybody's talking about like who are like the top rappers of like all time or like whatever, or anybody's top 5 list, you're gonna have Biggie there, you're gonna have Pac there, right?
That's not even true. To a certain generation. It's a certain generation, which is Generation X and Generation Y. Anyone above us, anyone above Generation X, and that's, anyone above Generation X is not listening to Biggie. Anyone that's below Generation Y is not listening to Biggie.
And I could say the same thing about Pac.
No,
I could say the same thing about Pac.
Cannot.
Absolutely, especially like
we cannot say the same thing.
Yes, you can.
We cannot.
It's hard.
Guarantee you we cannot.
Being here in LA, of course, where Pac is from, like I'm sure that's the case. But like in New York, if we were to ask like the little niggas, if we talking about the YNs, like we talking about that are under us, there, and I ask them about a Biggie
say the
versus
same thing, bro.
You absolutely can. The two are like synonymous, and I'm not even trying to argue that Biggie's better than him. I'm just saying like you're saying that like Biggie
hit it right now. Who got more listeners right now? Who got more people searching Biggie or Tupac? Who got the most listeners today? Or this year, however you want to scale it. Numbers don't. I'm not saying Biggie, Tupac, who's better. I'm just saying impact.
Okay. He has been played more times in totality, but Biggie has more regular listeners. Meaning to this day, if we're talking about who's listening to who the most right now, this is saying, although if you take from when they both started making music to now, Tupac has more plays, Biggie has more regular listeners. People are listening to Biggie more regularly than Tupac,
not people.
Is what that says.
No, not people. It's people like you. It's people like me that are listening to Biggie. And that's it. Because that's all we're going to play. We don't want to hear this new shit. We don't want to hear we want to hear that melodic, dope flow. But we're the only ones listening to it.
It says, but if he has more...
Right? Google this. Who is the most Googled between the two? Who's the most searched? Because again, like this is my point outside of music. In music, okay, yeah, they can be a legend in the music industry. He's a legend for sure because it's a story that's going to impact the music industry forever. Okay? Yes, he's a legend in that sense, in that regard, but not in a sense of the word, not in a sense of character, not in a sense of prolific.
That I can agree, because that's not Biggie's goal wasn't to be that. He was just as a rapper
Biggie.
To be a.
I like Biggie,
but
I listen to Biggie.
But I think you can still. So that being said, I'm saying you can still say that Biggie is a legend
in hip hop.
Biggie has a legacy
in hip hop.
You could he has
no.
He has one or he
you got to be specific because it's not. That's what I'm saying. With legacy, you can't just be nonchalant with that word. He's a legend in hip hop. He's not just you. He's not. No, in life, no. He's not. I'm not gonna introduce Biggie to my son as follow this guy. No, he's a legend in hip hop because of this.
That makes him a. There's like I think there's legend. But then like legend and role model. I think that's the difference in what you're saying is Biggie is a legend, Tupac is a legend. Tupac is more of a role model where Biggie is not, but I think that's separate from like the legend or like the legacy conversation that we're having.
See the thing is what our words that we use, words is a symbol of thought. So the symbols that we use, it has to have certain temperature to it. You know, if it's going to be mediocre and substandard, then we got to use a word to illustrate and categorize that. Okay? Not to take away but we got to call it what it is. If not, it'll get misinterpreted, you know, and that's the problem right now. That's why you got men in women bathroom is because of this misinterpretation. No, if you're a man, you're a man. If you're a woman, you're a woman. So legacy is the ultimate. Like if you're a legend, it's the ultimate holy grail. It's a clear separation, you know? And if legend isn't that, then what is that ultimate word that we can utilize to sit here and evaluate not only what a person does to put some money in their pocket, but what they do on a daily basis for the civilization?
And I think, and see, so yeah, so
right?
I think that's what it is. I think
what's
that's
another word?
Yeah, that's like
if it's
that's
not
just
legend.
Yeah, because and I think that's what it is. Like there needs to talk about what you're describing, because I don't think in order to be a legend or to like have a legacy in the context that we're talking about means that like you have to means that there's this like that responsibility that you're talking about comes with it. I think that's great in addition. And I agree, yes, we can say like they're a legend and they're whatever it is we want to attach to it when you do all those things. But I think that's just what my thing is, that I don't think that those things are a requirement as we're talking about just like legend and like having a legacy, right? I think what is the ultimate word if it's not legacy and legend? What else would you, if like what? Yeah, I don't know what that word is. That's something that would have to like be figured out. But I'd like, you can't,
that's something that have to be figured out.
Yeah, like I can't tell you what that word is, but like I can't say that Biggie doesn't have a legacy or that he's not a legend because he doesn't have some of those other things as far as like being like a really good role model,
he's
like attached to him.
He's definitely a legend. But and
his legacy, your legacy is what you leave behind, right?
Yeah,
that's what a legacy
a legend,
is.
Bro.
And his legacy that he left behind is
in hip hop
is what makes,
you know, in hip hop he's a legend,
and that's cool. And his legacy could be if all he wanted was to like, he didn't care about those other things, and that's okay.
I know Biggie. I love Biggie.
You love Biggie?
Yeah.
You think he's a legend?
Hell yeah. If
what is his legacy?
What is Biggie Smalls' legacy?
If he's a legend, what makes him a legend?
That's a good question. I would say Biggie Smalls is a legend just because everybody knows who he is. You can't say Biggie Smalls and somebody doesn't know who they are. I think that forms a legend.
But okay, besides people knowing who he is, why is he a legend?
Why is he a legend? Because everybody knows who he is.
Besides that though.
Then I can't explain why else he's a legend.
Just think about it. Just
Okay.
like why you say, if nobody told you who Biggie Smalls was and you were introduced to Biggie Smalls, why is this man a legend?
He's like do you say Tupac is a legend?
Let's not even talk about Tupac.
Nah, let him
straight up.
Real quick, because he might be leading to a point.
Time out. It's a specific question that I'm asking C Mills.
Correct.
Why is Biggie a legend? Simple.
Well, my answer.
Minus what people tell you.
Right.
Why is he? Just think for a second. Why is he a legend?
Biggie, can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. So everybody knows.
No.
Niggas
so
know what's up.
He's a legend because of that song.
Because yeah.
Copy.
Straight up.
Copy. Any other reason why he's a legend?
People don't at me, but I'm a youngster, so no. That's it. That's all I got.
Just the song.
Yep.
Biggie, can't you see?
Yep.
Okay, just a song. That's why he's a legend.
Correct.
Yes, sir. Now ask him your question.
Okay, so Biggie is a legend because of his music. We don't disagree with that, right?
Correct.
Biggie, that's what made him a legend. Now, I think you made a very good point. When you asked him, why is Biggie a legend? He said, because everybody will tell you Biggie's a legend. Everybody knows who Biggie is. You can't bring up Biggie and people don't know who that is, right? When we talk about being a legend, we're talking about somebody who like made music back in the 90s or whatever. He can only tell you one song right now of Biggie, but he can tell you definitively that Biggie is a legend, right? That's what, when we're talking about culture, we're talking about impact, we're talking about the consensus of the people. That's what makes people being known is legendary. That's the reason anybody.
But why is he a legend?
Because his music was
I'm just
because
asking,
his music
it's
was
that simple.
Because of his music. That's all it was the music.
That's my point.
But that doesn't make him not a legend. That doesn't take, that's an amazing, imagine
It's
imagine,
great.
and here's my thing, in which I think further proves my point, is that the fact that this debate that we're having, this conversation,
Is it a debate?
The stuff of
It's not a debate.
Which is not bad. It's not a debate.
It's perspectives of a word.
But
it's perspectives of a symbol of thought.
Mm-hmm.
What is legendary and what is a legend?
But
and the responsibility of a legend.
I say that to say,
I'm saying it's greater than a story. I'm saying that in order to be a legend, it's action that goes along with that.
And his action was like his music. His music was potent, impactful, and powerful enough for him to be remembered through time. For music, for different rappers to shape their styles around him. In the place that hip hop came from, in New York, like so much of what music is because Biggie was who he is, to the point that today in 2025, you got him who's admittedly said he's a youngster. He can't name much Biggie songs. He can't tell you why he's a legend, but he can say definitively that Biggie is a legend because his impact, who he was, his legacy has spanned his time. Because of his music. Because of his music. I'll keep saying it because his music.
Any other thing besides just music?
And that's okay. Because imagine, look at us being able to talk about.
The definition of a legend is an extremely famous or notorious person, especially in particular field. So we got what? Notorious B.I.G.
Who's extremely famous.
Extremely famous for what? Making
in
music.
In a particular field.
And he's historical.
Legend. Right.
And I grew up not knowing any of his music, but I remember my dad playing it in the truck long time ago when I was just a jit, and he would teach me, yo, this is Biggie, this is Pac. So for that reason that has been passed on to generation, I would say he's a legend.
He's a legend.
That's what I think. That's
in music,
which is he's a legend because he's a legend because of music. I think you're a legend or you're not. You're remembered or you're not. You have a legacy or an impact or you're not. The reasons you may have it, yes, he's a legend because of his music. Yes, is what I would say. But I wouldn't just say he's a legend in music. I can go probably as the whitest white person, and as long as they're old enough to be familiar with the music, they'll know who they're like. Biggie Smalls. That's the fat guy from New York.
Like, anything about that. Yo, Notorious. we are. I love Notorious, yo. I grew up on Notorious. You know what I'm saying? I listened to Notorious, B.I.G, Biggie Smalls. My last name is Small. I was always, made fun of. Everybody thought I was his cousin or his son or some type of relation to Biggie Smalls. Nothing against Biggie Smalls. It's just, we got to reclassify the words that we're using so that people don't get mixed up, because that's what the conscious community is saying. It's like, our heroes in the African American culture, in the American culture, in the American culture, it's not always music and athletes. Like, it's so many great people that are actually doing something for us.
Mm-hmm. So I'll ask you this as we kind of get towards the end here. When it comes to legacy and like being a legend, or like your legacy, right? What do you intend? What's like the legacy that you want to leave behind? Like, what's important to you when you leave this earth? If people are talking about SCSjr, what are they saying about you?
I may not create the world, but I'm gonna create the world that's gonna create the world.
Tell me a little more about that.
I realize that we have more in common than we don't. The actuality of a commonality exists, and that's what's real. So with that being said, I use my energy for the progression of human life, of civilization. So, and my whole program is to create, and what I create comes from the ultimate. It comes from the universe. It comes from God. It comes from Alpha and Omega. So I just transcribe the love frequency and just create. I create 25/8. I create.
So you're saying even if you don't specifically like aren't the one that like does the change, what you've done will have like sparked or at least like led to that.
Straight up, you know, that's going to be my legacy. And with that being said, it's all about, you know, solving these problems, you know, so we're not going around in circles, you know, which is, we shouldn't be paying for water. We shouldn't be paying for a roof over our head. No one should. That's absurd. That's literally like everyone that's looking me in my face throughout the day and they act like they have more than, bro, you're still paying for water. Your kids is, you're not even like, your kids is still gonna be paying for, like, no, we ain't got this right.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody no legend around this motherfucker. How about that?
How
about that?
Talking shit.
As long as we paying for water,
like, ain't nobody a motherfucking legend around this motherfucker. You know, we still paying for a roof over our head.
Oh yeah.
It's bullshit.
Yeah. It is, yeah. Paying
it's
for like
bullshit. What the fuck are you a legend for?
It can be kind of wild.
You know, niggas is still having to go out and eat. You know, what?
Yeah.
Niggas got to pay for every fucking thing.
Yeah.
Nobody no motherfucking legend. How about that?
I think like for me, as we're talking about just like personal legacy, right? To answer the question I just asked you, I think the thing that's like that I find myself most passionate about now is like enabling other artists, right? I think there are a lot of people who have something to say. I think there are a lot of people who like a lot of diamonds in the rough, I'll say, right? Where you know, if only this person like had the platform, if only they had the microphone to be able to get it out there, if only they even like knew how to do the thing, right? Then there's somebody who could probably do it and then also like become legendary themselves. Right? I think most of my life I've spent time a lot of my time like wanting to like be the artist, be the person in front of it. But as I've like been getting into production and like doing all these things, I'm finding a lot more fulfillment in like in helping others be able to do it. And be that voice.
That's
you know what I mean?
Right there. Fulfillment.
And so I think when I talk about my legacy, that's what I want people to be able to say about me. It's like, yo, Dusty P had like all the things that were able to happen because what Dusty P was doing was like enabling this person or that person, and they created like the next star, the next this, or the next like legend or whatever it is. Like I don't necessarily have to be the face of it, but like I get the fulfillment in knowing that like I can be a part of helping somebody who otherwise probably wouldn't have been able to because they didn't have the knowledge, the resources, or the access for it. And so yeah, that's what I think. That's what
I like that.
You know what I mean?
I like that. Or somebody that changes the game.
Fulfillment.
Or they might,
like Michael Jordan comes into basketball league and now everybody's got to cross over. They got to start dunking. Now you got players like Kobe, players like Vince Carter. So somebody that changes the game for the next generation.
Yeah.
Kobe, there's no Kobe without Michael Jordan.
Right.
So there's no there might not be a Wayne without Pac.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's like similar to what you're saying of like, all right, I don't have to be the one to do it, but I am going to contribute I'm going to help whoever is the one to do it. It's going to be because of the work that I put forth.
So we just being a legend is fulfilling your life's purpose. Being 100% you. Doing what you have to do. Doing your part. That's what being a legend is all about. Fulfilling the burning desire that's inside of you. That's going to lead the next person to fulfill the burning desire that's in them.
Mm-hmm.
So what you get from a legend is more motherfucking legends.
More motherfucking legends.
And that's what makes a legacy.
Bang. Legacy, baby. This has been another episode of Forever Open Radio. Thank you once again for always tapping in with us every week. You already know what we need you to do. Head over to Apple, head over to Spotify, leave us 5 stars, drop a comment, drop a review, and hit the YouTube, subscribe, hit that little post notification bell so that you know every time we drop. Let us know who is some of your legends. Let us know the legend that you wanna leave. Drop it right down in the comments. We want to tap in with y'all with that, and then just tell a friend, and let's make some more legends, man. Let's all just do legendary shit.
Legendary shit, baby.
You heard. Forever on Radio. We will catch y'all next week. Peace.